Warning, I used a bad word in this video and I yell. So if you don't want to hear me use a bad word or yell, turn back now. Save yourself. All right, I got my AC going. Got the fan going. And I am going to make me a cup of coffee and sit. What the heck? Somebody has gone and put a noose up in my knife shop. Look at that. I mean, blatant, right there in front of me, a noose. How dare they? Racists are everywhere. My God. Let me look around. I bet you I can find another noose here. Yep, right here. All coiled up like I would never see it. Another dang noose. Them racists. They're behind every door, every blade of grass. And every piece of rope I see is a noose. Because I'm a liberal. I'll tell you what. Goodbye, NASCAR. You're going the way of football. Yeah, I don't get political or anything like that anymore. I just find it hilarious that these screaming memes see a noose in every coil of rope or extension cord or frickin' statue of a immigrant who devoted his life to freeing slaves, but they want to tear it down because they have no freaking knowledge of history. It's scary and hilarious, the level of stupidity of these people. And here's the last thing I'm going to say. When you are a racist, all you see is racism everywhere. If you're just a normal person, seeing racism, you rarely actually see racism. And I guess if that's all you have in your life to cling to is racism is the reason you don't have a job, or racism is the reason you can't work hard enough to buy a house, or racism is the reason cops pulled you over and took your license plate because you can't afford insurance, or racism is the reason they found drugs in your freaking car. It's all racism. Racism. Yep. When you're a racist and you cling to racism to account for your lack of drive or your lack of success, that's all you have. That's all you have. You see racism around every corner. I have known way too many people whose skin did not look like mine, that worked hard like me and were successful and had good jobs and owned a home and didn't get hassled by the cops because they had insurance on their vehicle and pulled over when they were asked to pull over and showed their license when they were asked to show their license, just like everybody else in America. It's called a little bit of respect for authority, something we were all taught as children. Respect for one another, respect for your government if it's reasonable. And there's absolutely nothing unreasonable. I get getting pulled over for speeding and a cop asking you to prove you have insurance, prove you're allowed to drive. But to some people, you can go 80 miles an hour in the 30 mile an hour zone, and if you get pulled over, it's because the cop is a racist. If you don't have a driver's license and you get your car towed, it's because the cop was a racist. If you don't have insurance like everybody else is supposed to have, and they take your license plates and won't let you drive your car, it's because the cop was a racist. I am so fucking tired of racism. I'll tell you what, man. I may never upload this, but it sure feels good hollering. I've had it. I can't watch another second of freaking news. Racists are everywhere. Everywhere. Okay, clip number 3. My heart's not pounding as much, as hard. I'm sorry I used the F-bomb. But let me just say this one thing. I get called a racist in my videos. A long time ago, I assembled a piece of Chinese junk that was missing nuts and bolts and the thing I was assembling didn't even have a hole drilled where there was supposed to be a hole drilled. And in my video, I said, I hate Chinese junk. And you would not believe the people that watch that video and call me a racist because I hate junky products. Yeah, that's how far we've come. I mean, racism actually used to be a word that people avoided being described as because it was it was a dirty word. It was something you didn't want to be called. It was, you actively went through your life in your mind trying not to do anything that might be or make you feel like you had behaved in a racist fashion. And now racist and racism means absolutely squat. Okay, I'm having my coffee now. I had a little discussion where the person that called me a racist because I hated Chinese crap. And my comment to him was, why am I a racist for hating products made out of junky materials in a junky fashion? And he said, you're not hating the product, you're hating the people. I said, my reply was, okay, if I did hate Chinese junk, and I use the word Chinese people, if I said Chinese people, you realize that that's not a race, right? Any more than being American is a race. There's a white race, there's a black race, there's a Hispanic race. You could be American Indian, and you could be Asian. But there's no Chinese race any more than there is, a Puerto Rican race. You can't argue with stupid people. The word racist comes out of their mouth so easy, and then they throw the word fascist around. A fascist was somebody or a government that prevents free speech, which they're using, and prevents people from moving freely or entering or leaving a country. They're calling people who are completely against all that fascists. They're calling people fascists, and they're doing everything that fascists would do. I'm talking about the woke movement, which encompasses Antifa and BLM and all the other little subgroups that support that nonsense, that rioting, looting, burning nonsense. And it's mostly young people and college professors. Leftist, liberal, psychopath college professors that are teaching these kids this nonsense. And they're paying, hundreds of thousands of dollars to hear it from these liberal professors. Halls of indoctrination. So that's the kind of people you're dealing with when they call you a racist. They don't even know what a racist is. It's certainly not a Chinese person or even a person from Japan. Let's say you hated Japan. That doesn't make you a racist. That makes you hate a certain country. And you can't argue with stupid people. That's all there is to it. And the sad part is these stupid people, it won't be long till we will be watering our plants with Brawndo. That's how stupid these people are. Pulling down statues, the BLM, pulling down statues of people representing freeing the slaves. I'm surprised they haven't torn down a statue of Harriet Tubman or Rosa Parks or, Martin Luther King or... the other day, they spray painted and defaced a statue of Jimi freaking Hendrix, man. Do they not know who Jimi Hendrix is? This is the kind of stupid people we're dealing with. You cannot reason with people that are this stupid. All right, I'm done. This is my Sunday rant. So I will put a disclaimer at the very beginning of this that I used a bad word. All right, I bought this egg beater for, I don't know, like 12, 13 bucks. Let's see if it works.
So this is that better mousetrap thing.
Well, it's working. Better than a fork.
I have a mixer, right?
Yeah, but then you got to get a cord out and all that. I like it.